Hello and welcome to what has been a hot and sultry day here in beautiful Nova Scotia. A bit too hot and sultry for this Englishman's blood, but you can't complain after all this sort of rain that we have had recently, and actually this hot and sultry weather I think is about to trigger a thunderstorm, so I better get on with this video. But it's a quick video anyway. So I have recently finished growing potatoes in half of this bed and peas in the other half of this bed, and now I'm going to get it ready for, well, I'm going to grow some autumn crops in here. I think I'm going to put some carrots in here for a late autumn harvest, but I could be growing any sort of crop over the next few months, and I'm just going to give it a quick once over. So I've given it a sort of rake over already, and I've also got rid of all the weeds etc. that were growing in here. I did put some compost on here earlier on in the year, just laid it over. I'm no dig gardener, so as much as is possible I want to not disturb the soil as much as I can, even though obviously if I'm growing potatoes earlier on in the year, when I dug them up I obviously disturbed the soil, but that's the way it is. But all I've done now is just sort of got rid of any weeds that were in here, giving it a quick rake over, and now all I'm going to do is give it another quick top dressing of some compost, some homemade compost, and that is it. I'm not putting any sort of shop bought vitamin type stuff or anything like that. What I also do sometimes is I put a mulch down of seaweed or leaf mould. I like to let the plants get going first before I put any sort of mulch down. If I'm not going to grow anything in here over the winter, I would put a mulch down now of seaweed and let it sort of break down and drop all its nutrients into the sort of ground over the winter time. But I want to sow some carrots, so I'm not going to put any mulch down just yet. But I am going to put a covering of compost. Oh, the old knees are gone there. Oh. So this is just a basic covering. Just wheelbarrow it on. So there we go, nothing particularly difficult about that. This is beautiful homemade compost. This is horse manure and some seaweed in there, and obviously all the plants that I've cut down over the year, all mixed in there, rotted down beautifully, and that'll make. And saying that I've not put a mulch down, this is actually a bit of a mulch, isn't it? Obviously, but this will be good now, and all my beds will get a layer of this, so it's just a couple of inches, and now that's all I need to do. There's nothing complicated, there's no like double digging or anything like that. Just every spring and autumn, or maybe just once a year, give it a couple of inches of compost, and that's the bed done. Just removed a few weeds, and now I'm going to plant it up with some carrots, I think. There we go. Job's definitely a good one. And it looks like that thunderstorm's gone. Fingers crossed anyway.